Star Wars Episode 9 serves as the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy alike. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 has been filming since, I believe it was August 1st of this year, so things are really starting to take shape for this movie, and a lot of things are really coming together when it comes to all of the new actors and actresses that actually joined the cast of Episode 9, and what Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Mark Hamill, Billy D. Williams, what they are all set and ready to do for this film. I honestly am very much interested to see exactly what J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio have in store for the fans around the world. Now today I wanted to go over something very exciting, at least in my eyes, for Star Wars Episode 9, and that is of course that apparently Episode 9 is going to be the darkest Star Wars film to date. The darkest Star Wars movie in history. Now, I'm not quite sure if it could really top Revenge of the Sith. If you guys had to ask me, Revenge of the Sith is the darkest Star Wars film. That's just my personal opinion. But as for Episode 9, it seems more and more that J.J. Abrams is trying to top Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We do know that there is an epic lightsaber duel that, of course, both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver are going to be training for, that will be shot separately throughout, the months leading into the completion of principal photography for Episode 9. It seems as though that JJ is trying to essentially give us a lightsaber duel that will be very much near or even better than the Obi-Wan versus Anakin duel on Mustafar, which I'm not quite sure if they could ever top something like that. It would really take a lot of work and effort to do something like that, and I'm not quite sure if Disney and Lucasfilm would really do that. But looking at Episode 9, the fact that they are aiming to make this the darkest Star Wars movie to date honestly raises my interest because, well, they did say this about The Last Jedi, and I feel like it wasn't as dark as they made it out to be prior to release. I feel like that they were making it sound a whole lot more dark than what it really ended up to be. So, looking at all of this, we do know that there are a lot of characters coming into play for Star Wars Episode 9. It could honestly mean that there's going to be lots of death and the loss of some of the new main characters like Poe, Finn, Kylo, and Rey. It could also mean that it's going to be a sad ending, or maybe just a bittersweet ending for Star Wars that'll actually lead us, to believing that maybe this is indeed the end of the end. Perhaps the First Order wins. I don't know. If they do something like that, that would be truly crazy and stunning. I'm not quite sure how that would sit with the fans, but that's just speculation right there. But as far as this being the darkest Star Wars film to date, do you guys think that's a desperate attempt in order to add shock value to a movie like this? Or do you think it'll actually serve a purpose in this film? To me, I think it's great. I think a dark Star Wars movie is something that we have all wanted to see ever since 2005 when Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith released. Since then, we have seen The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, Solo. I feel like that we are due for a dark Star Wars movie that deals with a lot of tragedy, and I think that that tragedy element could very well have to do with Ben Solo / Kylo Ren. Like I have said before many times in the past, I think that at least one of the main characters in this story is going to die. Whether that be Rey, Kylo, Poe, Finn, perhaps even Leia. I know that they are using unused footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and that could also make it very dark if they decide to kill her off as well, which, by the way, I don't think that they will. I think that's a sensitive thing, a sensitive subject, if you will, to touch on since Carrie Fisher left us in reality here, so I'm not quite sure if Lucasfilm would really do that. But as far as the other cast members, right, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley portraying those characters, their characters may very well, die in Episode 9. They could very well serve a purpose in this movie where their death actually does have meaning. I think this all really points forward to Ben Solo, all the more so. I think it's gonna somewhat have a little bit of a callback to Darth Vader's death in Episode 4, Return of the Jedi, or should I say Episode 6, my bad. But looking at everything here, guys, I gotta say one thing, is that I'm looking at all of the Star Wars movies, and in The Last Jedi, they told us that that was going to be the darkest Star Wars movie to date, right? And now we're hearing that apparently, well, Episode 9 is going to be the darkest Star Wars movie out of the entire Skywalker saga. There's going to be a lot of dark undertones here, a lot of, different themes going around. We do know that apparently this movie is going to be very much medieval-esque, which is a dark, kind of way of storytelling. So I cannot wait to see exactly how this all plays out. If you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.